Welcome to Extension Connection on Super Talk 1270. Thoughtful information and discussion with experts from both Burley and Morton County Extension Service offices. Extension Connection provides advice on family nutrition, issues in agriculture, lawn and garden, community leadership, flood recovery, homeowner concerns, and so much more. Live from the Super Talk 1270 News Studio, this is Extension Connection.
Good morning and welcome to the Extension Connection. This is Jackie Buckley from the Morton County Extension Office. And just to let you know that we are taping the program prior to Wednesday. And so we will not be taking any live calls today. With me taping today is Ashley Stegman, Morton County Extension Agent in Training, and Carla Mickle, 4-H Youth Agent. And Ashley, what are you going to visit with us today?
I'm going to be talking about lawn seed, what type of seed to pick, and then also talking about some pesky webworms that we're finding in our trees these days.
Okay, and how about you, Carla?
I'm going to visit with everyone about the new 4-H year, which of course starts here September 1st. A 4-H robotics event, which is coming up in Mandan at the Brave Center, and a 4-H fall youth shoot for archery coming up at the Civic Center over in Bismarck in October.
Yep, and we can talk about Youth Science Day a little bit too when we get, if we get a chance too, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to visit about the Master Gardener, and I'll just start with that today. If you're interested in attending the Master Gardener program, it will start September 19th through November 21st. And the classes run, and that's a Friday. The classes run from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Central Time. And you can either go and take it online, or you can take and view the archived taped videos, or you can go to classes at participating extension offices throughout the state. And the closest one for the Morton County area will be the Burley County Extension Office. And the registration deadline is this Friday, August 29th. And so if you're thinking about this, you want to get on the stick and get that, and you can register online at www.ag.ndsu.edu/Master Gardener. And what do Master Gardeners do? The Master Gardener program is a volunteer service organization that benefits communities. Master Gardeners work alongside NDSU extension agents to educate North Dakotans about horticulture and sustainable gardening practices, as well as beautify their communities. It is a 40-hour class sessions, and it's going to be taught by university faculty and extension professionals in their respective fields. Topics will include basics of plant and soil science, perennial and annual flowers, woody plants, plant diseases, entomology, weed control, vegetable and fruit production, and much more. 3 of the class requirements are that you must have an email account. You should have high-speed internet so that you're able to view the topics online if you're interested in doing it that way. And then you need to have the ability to take the quizzes online. So you have to take tests. And so I don't think the test is very hard. It'll be just over the materials that you cover. The expectations of the class is that Master Gardener interns agree to complete the core course and volunteer 48 hours over 2 years in service to their local community and the NDSU Extension Service. A Master Gardener certificate will be sent to the intern upon completion of their service. Master Gardeners must also attend a minimum of 8 hours of continuing education each year. And so you're going to be, you don't have to be an expert in gardening to go to the Master Gardener. But if you have an interest, or if you're just interested in serving the community, this would be an excellent way for you to do some work with that. We've had Master Gardeners help with the Dakota Garden Expo. We've also had them help in the Bismarck and Mandan Community Garden, helping do a cleanup, doing volunteer work at parks, because many of the parks in Mandan, the Bismarck Mandan Garden Club and the governor's residence, they plant flowers at those locations. And so master gardeners would be willing to help take care of those as well. The benefits of being a master gardener include to increase your horticultural knowledge, have the satisfaction of helping your community, make new friends with similar interests, attend the new North Dakota Master Gardener Conference, participate in fun in-state and out-of-state field trips, receive the Master Gardener newsletter, and have access to free or low-cost continuing education activities. And so if you're interested in participating in the North Dakota Master Gardener Program, which will start September 19th and be held every Friday after that until November 21st, you can register online. The registration deadline, again, is August 29th. That's this Friday. The cost for the class is, if you're going to volunteer with the 48 hours over 2 years, the cost of the class is $150, which is really cheap.
That's reasonable.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so if you don't want to volunteer, which we've had people that just don't want to volunteer and they just want to increase their knowledge, the cost of the class will be $400. The Pro Hort training, they may not represent themselves as North Dakota Master Gardeners according to the information that I have here. And so if you're interested, you can contact your local county extension office or call our office at 701-667-3340. And once again, the website where you can go online and register is www.ag.ndsu.edu/Master Gardener. And so if you're interested in that, please do so and get registered by Friday. We have about a minute before we go to the break. And so just as a quick note, after the break, I will be visiting about the North Dakota Range Management School, which will be held in September. I have some information on the Cool Battle with the World Trade Organization, fall lawn renovation, and maybe Ashley's going to talk a little bit about that, but getting that done correctly, majestic mums, and bulbs. It's going to be time to plant bulbs very soon, and we're going to talk about that as well. And then if we have time, something from the North Dakota Pest Report. And so we'll talk to you after we get back from the break. Welcome back to the Extension Connection. This is Jackie Buckley, Morton County Extension Agent, and we're taping the program today for today's program, and so we're not live in the studio, so if you have questions, please feel free to call 667-3340 for more information. Carla, you have some 4-H activities and events coming up.
Yep, just a couple here. Of course, we're winding down our 4-H year for 2013-2014. The new 4-H year starts here next week on September 1st, and we're very excited for, of course, the new year to begin. It's also the time of year where if you are a current 4-H member, it's time to enroll. You need to go on 4-H Online and do all that fun stuff like pick projects, update your information and everything. And if you're a new 4-H member, of course, it's a pretty exciting and it could be a little scary time as far as everything that you have to do to get ready for the 4-H year. So that's where we're here to help. Please don't hesitate to call and ask questions. If you're interested in the 4-H program in Morton County or Burleigh County, please contact your respective extension office here in Morton County. That's 667-3340. Would be happy to answer any questions that you do have. I've had lots of calls the last couple weeks and some emails, and so there's quite a bit of interest in the 4-H program in the area, which is very exciting. Of course, we see growth and youth in the interested in the program. And here this past Monday, we were up at Fort Lincoln School, and we were handing out all kinds of information on 4-H and had quite a few kids stop by with their parents and ask questions. And like I said, if you're interested in the program, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We will be having some open enrollment evenings at the courthouse. I've scheduled the 11th and 18th, which are Thursday nights from 5 until 7. If you want to come in and do your registration for 4-H for the new year, you can at that time. Or if you want to come in and ask questions about 4-H, we'll kind of consider it a little open house / enrollment period. And then September 25th, I'll be out in New Salem at the fairgrounds, and we'll be doing some enrollment out there as well. And of course, 4-H, provides a lot for our youth. It is one of the largest youth programs in the U.S. And life skills, communication skills, friendships that you make through the program. It's a really neat organization for youth to be involved in. And I just encourage you, if you have questions, to call. Of course, you can pick all kinds of different projects, from livestock to cooking and science and technology and outdoor skills. It's just a vast array of projects that you can pick from. So I encourage you to check into it or ask questions and join 4-H in Morton and Burleigh County. So the next thing I have is a 4-H robotics event, and this is the third year that we're going to do this event here in Mandan. It's going to be held at the Brave Center at Mandan High School, Saturday, September 6th. There are still spots available, and registration, we do limit it to 20 youth per level. Level 1 is grades 4 through 6, and level 2 is grades 5 through 7. And you can register through the 4-H online enrollment system or contact your local office. And really, the robotics event features a lot of junk and platform robotics. Participants will be able to take home everything they make and to use to teach others or to create other junk robotics. The event will cover 2 separate levels of instruction and participation. Level 1, of course, is for grades 4 through 6 and will include junk and Lego We-Do robotics. Participants will construct some junk robots using different types of circuits and materials, and they'll also construct and program several robot projects using Lego We-Do kits, which are pretty cool because that's all connected to the computer and they can build things. And last year we tried to build a Ferris wheel out of Legos, and then you can set it to different types of speeds and go forward and backwards, and it's very neat. And then level 2 is for youth in grades 5 through 7 and includes both junk and Lego NXT Mindstorm robotics. Participants will construct a junk robot and then construct and program a robot using the Lego NXT Mindstorm kits that we have in our offices. You should have some prior robot experience, several robot challenges. There's a lot of robot words in here.
Yes.
And will be conducted during the evening. And at the end of the day, we have kind of a showcase so the parents can come in and see what their kids did for 5 hours with the extension service. And we show them everything, all our robots that are working, and they get to do some fun stuff. So, one of them is they make race cars and we race them across the gym floor, and just a lot of fun stuff that kids get to be creative and use their science, engineering, technology, and math skills to put some really neat stuff to work.
Okay, is there a charge, Carla?
There is. The fee is $20, which includes your supplies and your lunch. And if you're an adult that wants to stick around, we are asking that adults, the registration fee is $10, and that includes the lunch, and they can help out because sometimes we need some extra help. Everyone gets busy with all the pieces and stuff, and to have some extra people there is wonderful. And like I said, it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning and goes until 4. And about 3:30 is really when we have that showcase where parents or others who want to come in and check it out are more than welcome to come in and see what we've done for the day.
Okay. And I think in the past it's been like, what we want to call it, sold out.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it usually fills up pretty fast. And so when I did check this morning, there were a couple spots still available in each of the levels. And so if you're interested, I would get on the computer or call your local extension office really quick so you could get in on that. I'm excited. My nephew's going to come this year and one of his friends. So it should be pretty fun and be able to check that out and see what they learn. So, because sometimes they think things are cool and sometimes, well, but the last thing that I can touch base on real quick is we are having our first annual Fall Youth Shootout, and we're excited because Town Square Media is one of our sponsors. And woohoo, plug for them. Okay. And so that's October 24th and 25th at the Bismarck Civic Center as part of the Pucklet Chevrolet North Dakota Sportsman's Expo. And youth from around the state are welcome to come and participate. Will be a tournament. It's a 300 tournament, and you shoot at a target with 10 different rings on it, and we have scores. And all the youth will walk away with a gift, and we will have awards for our top shooters in each of the age brackets. And registration for that will be open here at the beginning of September. And there's a small entry fee of $5. Otherwise, to attend the event, youth will be free to attend the Pucklet Chevrolet North Dakota Sportsman's Expo if you're shooting the archery, and it should be pretty fun.
What's a 300 shoot?
Yep, you shoot 30 arrows, and your high score could be 300.
Okay.
That's the high score you can get.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So you'll shoot 30 times at a target, and like I said, it's a 10 ring target, so the most points you can get is 10, and then go from there. So yeah, it'll be very fun. So I'm very excited.
And they can call our office, or do you register online, or?
You can call our office. Registration will be open online at the Morton County Extension Service website, or you can call 667-3340, and you can visit with me or Carrie and Cammie. They've been working on the registration. They can get you registered as well. And there are some forms that we'll have to have you fill out, of course, the waiver of liability and parental consent and all that kind of stuff to participate. And, of course, the media release, because we want to take your picture and be able to use that for different events. So, but that is the Fall Youth Shootout, again, October 24th and 25th, and that's Pucklet Chevrolet North Dakota Sportsman's Expo. We'll be right in the new part of the Civic Center. I'm very excited. And, again, Town Square Media is helpful in supporting that. So,
okay, well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
We're about ready to go for a break, Carla, and we can talk a little bit more about 4-H afterwards, and we'll be back after the break. Welcome back to the Extension Connection. This is Jackie Buckley once again, and we are taping today. And Ashley, you were going to visit a little bit about selecting fall lawn seed, and then also on what else?
Webworms.
Webworms.
Those
yes.
pesky webworms in our trees.
Yes.
I guess I'll start out with that. I've had a couple calls in the office about webworms in trees. Most trees affected by webworms could be chokecherry, cherry, birch, and elm trees, and even apple trees. They look kind of daunting when you see them. I know I was out this past weekend with the kids riding bike, and I saw a bunch of webworms and trees, and they're not exactly fun to look at.
No, they're nasty. They look like a spider attacked it or something. Like it's just
yeah. Exactly. And so a lot of homeowners and even just public don't like to see these webworms. Well, first, we may see more of these because these are fall webworms, and they are very active now. And you can find the caterpillars and their nests in the canopies of the trees. And when I say canopies, that is the higher up part of the trees. And their nests, as we said, they look pretty dramatic. They're a little scary looking, and but the reality of them is that they don't cause much damage. That's the damage that they do cause is just minimal. The caterpillars, they eat the leaves but cause little harm since the leaves are mostly done for the year. We're not having a lot of new growth with the leaves, and so they're just eating what's still there before fall really sets in and we begin to lose those leaves. In most cases, people who see the caterpillars in the trees are suffering more than the trees themselves. I know my son was trying to play in one of the trees with the webworms, so we definitely have to keep an eye on them and make sure that they're not getting into anything. When removing these webworms, the best thing is really to remove them. It's not a fun task to do, but if you have some type of tool, and I've even heard using a pitchfork is actually a very good tool to use. You just want to grab that web and pull it out of the tree, and then you want to dispose of it. And hopefully all those caterpillars that are in the nest come out with that web. And if anybody's dealt with webs with spiders or anything like that, they can be kind of sticky and corrosive, and so they kind of stick to each other. And so hopefully all of those insects will come with that web. Caterpillars are an easy target inside their nest. You can use carbaryl and pyrethrin. They are an insecticide that can be used to spray on the caterpillars in their nest, and they will then be killed immediately. And then you want to still try to remove that webworm, because if you leave any type of insecticide, insects there on the tree, you're just asking for more caterpillars to come along and make a new web and nest in there. Carla's not very happy with these.
I just saw it like this weekend. It's just odd that you're talking about it, and I'm like, that's disgusting. What is that? And so I'm just learning a lot.
Yes. And, a lot of times I think of Halloween, you get all those spider webs up in the trees, and it's decorative. But no, these are actual webworms that are growing on our tree before Halloween. So we need to do something about that and take care of that. If you have young trees that develop some webworms, it's important that you don't leave any of those nests on the trees. You want to get those removed because with young trees, the leaves that they have are few already. They only produce so many, and so you want to make sure that you're removing any of those webworms. That way the young trees aren't losing any of those leaves. It's not as big of a problem with mature trees, since the mature trees can fight it off a little bit, fight those webworms off a little bit more. It's always important that you make sure that you leave the leaves need to overcome the transporting shock and prepare for winter, so you want to make sure that you leave enough leaves on there so they can survive our hardy winters that we have. And talking about winter, it's something that we don't want to speak about, but we're experiencing some cold temperatures.
Yes, and we all have jackets on.
Yes, we do. I could not believe how cold it was this morning. And another thing that I would like to talk about, talking about trees in your landscape. Right now, this time of year is the best time of year to sow grass seed. For many of us, our lawns are made up of Kentucky bluegrass, a fine leaf grass, and a perennial ryegrass. Now, a lot of our turfs are Kentucky bluegrass, and that's because it's a very hardy and durable, thick grass that grows on our turfs, and so that is a type of grass that is suggested. And I just want to again suggest that when you are picking your lawn seed, you want to make sure that you are thinking about the area that you're going to be planting this grass seed. Is it a sunny or a shady area? Different types of grass require different conditions, and it's important that if you are doing any type of fertilizing, that you stop doing that this time of year, because our days are getting shorter and our landscapes are beginning a period in transition where summer is over, and they're not preparing. They're having to prepare for winter and become more hardy. So you don't want any new growth or new succulents to form right before that cold snap that we have. And I guess with that, we will be coming back, and thank you for listening to the Extension Connection.
And just to expand on Ashley's little talk about grass seeding, one thing that you would want to remember is that you want to seed bluegrass, ryegrass, or fine fescue into bluegrass. You don't want to go in and seed like a tall fescue into a bluegrass lawn. Some consider tall fescue a weed, and I guess I do too. It's very tall, it's coarse, very wide leaf blade, and most people don't like it in a lawn. Don't seed bluegrass, tall fescue, or ryegrass into a buffalo grass lawn. Buffalo grass is a grass that is a warm season grass that doesn't get very tall and is not one that would bluegrass it would not mix well with that because the color is totally different. The buffalo grass has more of a grayish hue to it, and so it would not look good. Don't seed buffalo grass or into a bluegrass, ryegrass, or tall fescue lawn. And another reason for you don't want to do those two things is because buffalo grass is a warm season grass, which means it starts its growth when temperatures get above 70 degrees, and it does fine in 80 and 90 degree weather, where a Kentucky bluegrass is a cool season grass, as are the tall fescue, ryegrass, and the fine fescue, and so they do well in temperatures when it's like 50 to 75 degrees, and so that's the reason why you don't want to mix a warm season and a cool season. Of course, in our native pastures, that's a good thing. We want that kind of a mixture, but in our lawns, we do not. Don't see buffalo grass, blue grama, or other warm season grasses in the fall or the spring. You should only see that in the summer when it does well in the summertime. And so just another few tidbits about that. When you go to the greenhouse now, and if you go to many of the big box stores and you go to the garden centers, you will find many different types of bulbs for you to purchase. And when you consider a bulb, you think about it, okay, it's a bulb, but there's like 4 different things that are considered a bulb. There's a bulb is a specialized underground organ consisting of short, fleshy, usually vertical stem, axis bearing at its apex a growing point. And so these the 2 plants that you can think of are tulips and lilies that are actually a true bulb. There's such a thing as a corm. A corm has a swollen base of a stem axis enclosed by a dry, scale-like leaves. In contrast to the bulb, which is predominantly leaf scales, a corm is a solid stem structure. An example of a corm would be like a gladiola ball. A gladiola corm is the correct term, and so glads are that. And in North Dakota, of course, our gladiolas, we plant those in the spring, and we have to remove the corms from the soil in the fall of the year because they will not live through our winter. There's also tuberous roots and stems. There's 2 types of structures with thickened tuberous growth with functions as storage organs. Dahlia would be an example of a tuberous root, while the tuberous begonia is classed as a tuberous stem. There also is a plant type called a rhizome. These are specialized stem structure in which the main axis of the plant grows horizontally or just below the soil surface. The best example of this is the iris, which we see a lot of. And another great example is quackgrass has rhizomes, and so does our Kentucky bluegrass lawn. And so when we're planting bulbs, we want to make sure in the spring of the year, we want to cut off the green material after the plant has pretty much dried up. You want to leave a little bit of the green material there so that it can store nutrients for the winter. And then if you have to remove like your gladiola corms, allow the bulbs to dry for 2 to 3 days in an airy, shady place. After drying, place them into paper bags or cardboard boxes and store them in a dry location at or about 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. All other tender bulbs should be placed in a slightly moistened peat moss or vermiculite and then stored at the same temperature. You should frequently inspect those bulbs over the winter to make sure that they don't have any mold growing on them and get rid of those immediately. You also want to be reminded that planting depth is very important when you're planting. The larger the bulb, of course, the deeper you plant. And so when you're looking at like lilies, daffodils. You plant them the deepest, and then of course the crocuses, and the like summer snowflake, grape hyacinths. You want to plant those about 3 inches deep, and then like your tulips, daffodils, and the Dutch hyacinth at a depth of 6 to 7 inches. The rule of thumb is to plant at a depth equal to 2.5 to 3 times the diameter of a typical bulb for the species. The spacing of the bulbs is also important. The larger the bulb, the more space is required between the plants. Tulips and narcissus are spaced 4 to 8 inches apart. Crocus are planted about 3 inches apart. We're getting the cue that we have to wrap up for today. We will be back in 2 weeks, the Morton County Extension staff, and we want to wish the Bison good luck this weekend as they play the Iowa State Cyclones. Great, correct, Ashley?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, we have our Iowegian here with
Yes.
us, and she's riding the fence as to who she's going to root for this weekend. So we will talk to you in a couple weeks from the Morton County Extension staff, and thank you for listening to the Extension Connection.